Hey, what's up, YouTube, and all my Mandela Effect community out there? I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be talking about the flat Earth theory. Um, Now, I know this isn't really a Mandela Effect, so please, cool your horses, man. Don't attack me because it's in a Mandela Effect. Um, but a lot of the Mandela Effectees tend to be flat Earthers also. So I'm going to try to break down some of this real quick. Um, so anyway, let's get started. No. Also, let me say here first off that a lot of this are questions on my part because I try to do some research. I've been trying to do some, some information hunting, videos, forums, what just trying to see what people have to say, trying to see what the argument is. And I have a few questions myself that I never really saw fixed or answered in other places. So if you can, leave a comment, answer some of my questions, please. Um, Educate me, help me out, help me understand, and please don't put your fingers in your ears and go the la 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 like you don't want to hear, because I'm going to say things that aren't exactly going to agree with you because they don't agree with me, and I'm going to say the truth regardless of who it might hurt or offend. I'm going to tell you the truth. So anyway, again, let's get started. Um, there's two types of flat earthers. There's some that believe there is a sun, a moon, stars, and planets. And then there's another group that doesn't. Okay, so if I lose some time in this video talking, it's going to be trying to separate one from the other within the questions and within the statements that I make. So just want to put that out there. I know there's two types of you out there. The diagram that I saw was a flat Earth, a sun, and a moon that revolve basically the way a record needle would go around a record. Okay, but it's not the record spinning; it's the sun and the moon revolving, just not in the way that like regular Earth people believe. It's revolving like this parallel with the flat Earth. Okay, if that's the case, how is there eclipses? That's what I don't understand. How is there eclipses if there's nothing in the way? Now, if you don't believe there's anything in space or in the sky, no sun, no moon, I don't know where you think heat comes from, but for you that do believe that there's a sun and a moon, one, why are they round and we're not? Or every planet and star and asteroid for that matter, why are they round, but, or at least round-ish? Why aren't we round? Why do we look like an apple core for the most part? Okay, but again, also, how is there an eclipse ever if they're literally right across from each other at all times? There is no revolving a different direction, not going by your theory. They're right across from each other and always across from each other, always. So how is there an eclipse? How would there be an eclipse? Okay, so that's my first question. And then this has got to be one of the hardest ones for me to understand here. The flat Earth is surrounded with a wall of ice, like the Great Wall of China, but around the whole Earth, there's a big round wall of ice we can't conquer or go over or fly to or see. There's no entrepreneurs or billionaires out there that have wanted to see this happen somehow or prove it somehow. So how is it that there is a wall of ice on this planet is melting? Why doesn't it apply to the wall around the world or the flat Earth? Why doesn't that apply to that? And then on top of that, the sun is right above that wall. How is it not melting that wall of ice? And then, why is that the center of the Earth, on the flat Earth scenario, why is the center of the Earth the hottest spot? Brazil and Texas and Mexico and all that. South America, why is that like the hottest parts of the world are in the center? That doesn't make... The closer you get to the sun, the warmer it's going to get. But if the sun is over that wall of ice that you have around your flat Earth, why isn't the ice melting? And why is it that the land that's farthest away from the sun is the hottest? That doesn't make any sense to me. No sense whatsoever. So again, help me out. Explain it to me, please. I don't understand. So the Mayans were wrong about the solar system and the stars, because apparently back when the Mayans were in their primitive state of being Indians from whenever, you're going to tell me that even then the government put up a false flag with stars and rotation and all that? That you mean that was fake also? And that leads into another part. Y'all also believe that dinosaur bones aren't real, and this is why I have to ask: does the flat Earth theory come from biblical proportions? Because I mean, I know that I've heard and seen people that believe, or religious or biblical people that believe the Earth is flat, and I could have swore it's tied to biblical scripture, or I'm sorry, maybe not scripture, but biblical times when we weren't really geographically educated. And that's why I'm wondering, does it come from that? Because I've heard the whole fake dinosaur bones before, and it came from Christians. That's how they explain the world being no older than 6,000 or 7,000 years old. So I'm just curious, is that where this comes from? And again, like I said, questions, but what would be the purpose of lying to the general populace about it being round and not flat? Like, does anybody know the advantage to having people believe it's a round Earth instead of a flat Earth? Does anyone really know what the advantage is to that? If I was a government official apparently creating fake stuff back when the Mayans were on Earth, so I just don't understand. And like I said, help me out, but I don't understand what the benefit is of telling people the Earth isn't flat, and telling them that it's round instead. I mean, what's the point? I don't see the advantage of having a round Earth instead of a flat one. I don't know. I mean, it could be either one right now, and guess what? Summer's still going to be summer, and winter's still going to be winter. I don't see the big reasoning behind that. And I hear a lot of you talking about, or the theory about how when things go so far away, they leave your vision. That's called vanishing point. Artists use it, photographers, journeymen, stuff like that, people that do like land surveying and stuff like that. It's called vanishing point. Okay, that's when something has left your vision. It's gone down to a little bit point and it's gone. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you is that vanishing point, or that little what you can see thing, that does nothing for either party. Round Earth, flat Earth, that does nothing for either one of you. I'm just saying that's a point that I don't want to hear anything about. So does that mean that carbon dating isn't real too? Like I said, I've heard the Christians say. That's why I ask if this is of biblical proportions, because that means that carbon dating wouldn't be real either. And I don't know. I mean, I think, I don't. Like I said, I don't know. That's why I'm trying to. And the reason why I don't know is I didn't see any answers, and these are the questions that I have. So, another thing I heard y'all say was planes. If the Earth was round, the plane would always have to adjust to keep from hitting the Earth. If you get if you get a bowling ball and you get a ruler and you put it, a 1-inch ruler, okay, just 1 inch, on top of a bowling ball, a 1 inch away from the bowling ball is going to be 1 inch here, 1 inch here. No matter where you put it on that bowling ball, 1 inch away is going to be 1 inch away. So as far as y'all's plane or aeronautical theory, 230 miles off the ground is still 230 miles off the ground. It doesn't matter if the world bends or not, okay? That's something their technology has perfected, okay? Otherwise, planes wouldn't be able to fly like they do. Flat Earth or not, even a round one, doesn't matter, okay? So as far as the theory of going up and down and all that, that theory holds no water. I know that a lot of you are hung up on NASA lying about the moon landing, so NASA, they tie that lie to, I guess, apparently the lie that they're telling us about our Earth. You know, that may be the case. They may be lying about the moon landing and stuff like that, but I really don't think they're spending $3.5 trillion on photographs. You know, I mean, we got YouTubers that can do better than that. So, I don't know. I'm not saying the money's being spent well. I just don't think it's being spent on photos. Y'all also believe there's no satellites? I mean, I don't know if this falls back to the flat earthers that believe there's planets and other stuff like that, and versus the ones that believe there's nothing out there. But there's no satellites, like none. That's all make believe. They're telling us that to control us. Then wouldn't that mean that Big Brother is null and void now? Wouldn't that mean that all the privacy that we're worried about and the spying on us, doesn't that mean that it's not real? I mean, there's no satellites. You know, I mean, Comcast can't triangulate through fiber optics in the water. I heard that as y'all's argument too. That's how they do communicate, fiber optics underwater. Now, I saw when that happened, and I saw them trying to do that. That was only not even 5 years ago. Okay, so you're telling me that the way they triangulate around the Earth is through lack thereof satellites? I don't know. That's really hard for me to swallow, that there is no satellites out there. It's really hard for me to swallow. So, and another thing, I don't know if I said this earlier or not, but I'm going to say it again. The flat earthers that believe that there is a moon and a sun and they revolve parallel with the world, how is it? Yeah, and like I said, I may have said it before, but I don't understand why, out of all the planets in the solar system, why was this one planet flat? You know, why is this one planet not round like the rest of them? Or maybe y'all believe it was round at some time, it's just something happened or something and it's not round now. Okay? Again, I don't know. But like I said, you know, a lot of conspiracy theory, which is what's plaguing this flat earth thing, it is not the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is a phenomenon full of facts. So, I'm having a hard time with conspiracy theories. I always do. I have to have some type of grounding fact mechanism here. And everything from eclipses doesn't make any sense if it's revolving around, or if it's revolving on top of the Earth, parallel with it. I don't know how there ever would be an eclipse. You know, and like I said, if this is of biblical proportions, like this is where this comes from, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if that's where it comes from, I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to believe that dinosaurs and the Neanderthal wasn't here. I'm always going to believe that. Always. All right. I don't believe they were put here to trick us. That's what I've heard from Christians before, is that dinosaur bones were put here falsely to trick us. That's one argument. Okay, it's not my argument. Like I said, I don't know how the sun that revolves on the edge of our flat planet doesn't melt the ice wall that keeps us locked in. But it melts all the other ice, though. And then the land on this flat Earth that's farthest away from the sun is the hottest. That doesn't make any sense either. So, I mean, not unless they're microwaving us with a make-believe thing in the sky. Like, I just don't get it. And even when it comes, about the moon being lit up, and how that just can't be. The sun is gigantic. The Earth is like a dot compared to the sun. And then the moon is like a dot compared to the Earth. That's why you always see light there. Is because the sun's light doesn't shoot like a laser, like a little point. I mean, it's broad. So that's why you see a lit up moon. Because this little bitty blue ball that we're on, or whatever, it can't cover all the light from the sun. It's only because the sun is this big and the Earth is this big. Of course there's going to be light shining past it. It's a smaller object. I mean, do you see the little bitty guy standing behind the big giant Goliath? No. It's the same principle. The little bitty blue ball is not going to block out all the light from the sun. And the times that you do see a crescent moon or a half moon, guess what's in the way? That little blue ball. Just like the sun, at a certain time of the year, it rises and sets on one side. At a different time of the year, it rises and sets on another. So, how can the sun be in a certain part during the summer, and the sun can be over here during the winter time, but in the flat Earth theory, it's always just going around the edge with the moon? It doesn't go around this way. It goes around this way like a needle on a record. And yet, it doesn't melt the ice directly under it. That's the wall keeping us in from falling off the edge, which I don't get that either. I could have sworn that's why explorers were done exploring. We explored everything. I don't know. All right? I don't know. So I like to hear the sense you make of it. This is the sense that I make of it. And to be honest, after going through the facts that the flat earthers believe, they're not facts to me. They make no physical sense whatsoever. Now, if they're flat earthers that believe nothing is out there, that's a deeper argument, that there's nothing. And if there's nothing out there, then that means that following the star to Bethlehem didn't happen. That means the Mayans using the stars as some type of mapping didn't happen. That means that all the sailors that ever been on the world discovering new things never would have been able to navigate because there were no stars. So, I mean, not to say that sailors didn't exist, but how the hell did they find their way to and fro if there were no damn stars? They didn't have no GPS. And if the Earth is flat, compasses didn't work back then either. That makes no physics. There's no physics behind that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Compasses would not work on a flat Earth. And if they figured out a way for them to work, it didn't happen until later. There's no way that it worked 2,000 years ago when Leif Erikson is discovering America back then. I mean, they're Vikings covered in wool and shit. Were they living near the ice wall? I mean, I don't know. I just have a hard time believing some of these things like they were fact. I mean, I don't know. No satellites. That means no Big Brother. That means nobody's watching us. I don't know. I have a hard time with some of these issues. So anyway, I've put out my questions out there. I'd like to know what some of you guys think. I've been pressed by a lot of people to do something about the flat Earth. Well, I've done it. These are the questions that I have. You want somebody else on your team that's strong? Answer them. Don't send me no link. All right? Don't send me no link. I'm not trying to hear what some other idiot said about something else. All right? You tell me. I want to know what you think. I don't want to know what somebody else thinks. I've already done all that. I've already gone around to the videos. I've already went hunting around to your big giant subscription pages. I've already gone to the forums. And I'm telling you, these are the questions that I have. How is this possible? How is it that there's two different groups in the flat Earth community? I mean, maybe that's a little bit asshole of me, because there's groups within everything. Because, I mean, we as a people, we have a hard time agreeing on anything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how there's one group that believes nothing's out there, and one group that believes everything is out there, but everything's round except for us. And then the sun, it spins around the world, parallel with the flat Earth, with the moon on the opposite side, but yet the moon and the sun come up in different places anyway. Especially depending on the season. And then the parts of the Earth that are farthest away from the sun are the warmest. Geographically and physics apparently apply none to the flat earthers. And that's the thing that I'm having the biggest problem with. So get on the comment board, let me know what you think. I appreciate you guys. I don't monetize. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like, but I do appreciate the comments, and I will answer every comment. FYI, I've been seeing a few comments pop up that did not come up in my notifications. I don't know if that's YouTube. I don't know who that is, but I found a couple of them very recently. If I don't answer you, there's a good question, or there's a good chance that that might be the reason. So, but that's something I live by. That's something I've been doing with this channel. If you leave a comment, I will reply, no matter who you are. You want to be a troll, I'm going to reply. You're going to, whatever it is, I will respond in some kind of way as soon as I can. So thanks for the attention. Thanks for the 20 minutes of your time. And I really appreciate you spending that 20 minutes of time listening to this guy. So, like always, be there for each other. Try to hear each other out. Try to have an open mind. You don't have to agree, but try to help human nature. And try to understand. I tried to understand. I have children. I have a life. Matter of fact, I don't even get paid for this. I don't need compensation. I'm going out of my own way to do this. Now, if you're not a truth seeker, then you're not. But I like to keep myself around truth seekers. So if you're a truth seeker, you're a flat earther, then give me the answers to my questions. I'd like to know. I'd like to know the sense you've made of it. I'd like to know the other people that your peers, that the sense they've made of it. I'd like to know. So anyway, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay strong, people. I'll see you soon.